Hello, Leo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of November 30th through December 6th. And during that time, we'll have a waxing gibbous moon, and that is a moon that is about being flexible, able to make adjustments on the projects and things that we started during the new moon. So we've kind of been working on things, and now we're going to make some adjustments. What's working, what's not working, kind of evaluate those things. We then move into the full moon energy on December 5th. And of course, that's a time of heightened emotions, and some people can feel overwhelmed and anxious or a little snappy and irritable. Or if you're like me, you're just full of energy. I do get less sleep during the full moon, and I feel amazing during those. Usually it's about a 3-day period where I'm just like at the peak of everything. So if that's you, try to get some things done if you can. It's a good time to be productive for me. So keep those moon energies in mind as we're moving through the week, Leo. All right, so this will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter. So as always, Leo, please take what resonates with you today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: be bold and make the first move. All right, let's see what the Leo Collective might have going on for the week. I'm just looking back. Looks like you had something you were thinking about last week. So I like to kind of look back at the notes for the readings for the week previous to kind of see where everybody's been. So it looks like you've been thinking about something, and maybe you're about to make the first move on that. So we will see what is happening here. So my fun weekly reminder this week, Leo, is that you take some time to notice the world around you when it comes to synchronicities this week. You might already just be very well aware of this. It might be something that you're completely unaware of, but those synchronicities that are going on constantly, you know, I've had some synchronicities in my life that are literally impossible. Like the probability of them happening, literally off the charts, impossible. A billion to one kind of stuff. Those things can happen in a week, right? Those can happen sometimes if you're paying attention. I mean, some of those are blaringly like just obvious. You can't not pay attention. But also there's the subtle things. There's numbers that get in front of you that are repeating. You might see that number on a clock a lot during a week. You could see it on license plates, signs, that sort of thing. I've also, the number 444, very dear to me. I see fours. Fours are like one of those guiding numbers for me. I see them everywhere. Anyway, it is my fun reminder that you pay attention to those types of things, whether it be repeating numbers or animals that you're seeing, or, there's always some message that the universe is trying really hard to send you if you're just paying attention to those. So that is my fun weekly reminder. And I will quit babbling about that, Leo, and let's get into this reading. So November 30th through December 6th, be bold and make the first move. Your present energy is that you're feeling a little stuck on something here with the 8 of Swords, and you can think your way out of it. That's the whole point of this card, is we all get a little stuck sometimes. You can see, anytime any of these cards have this emotional realm foot and in the water, and one on real land. It's kind of, you can kind of be drawn between, the emotional part of something and the practical part of something. But if you're feeling a little stuck, it's just up to you to start to make that first move. It doesn't look like she's wrapped very tightly. Wouldn't take her much to maybe break a hand out, grab a sword, cut the rest of that off, take that blindfold off and look around, and then be able to navigate your way around these swords, these ideas, these thoughts, these words. So looks like that's your energy right now, your current situation. More swords with some anxiety. So you're being anxious about something. Something is keeping you up at night, and you're anxious about it, but it's totally something that you have control of and you can think your way out of. So don't let yourself do that and be that anxious. Just go ahead, like I said, make that move and think your way out of it. It's not impossible. At the root of your situation is the 8 of Pentacles, which is hard work. So it's something that is, you're stressing about something that you work hard at. Also, we have 2 8s on the table. So 88. Look up that as an angel number. Let that be your first synchronicity of the week. But something you're hard at work at or have been hard at work at. And I see this too as the card is it's hard work, but it's rewarding work. It's the kind of work that you're doing that um like if like it keeps you in the moment, and this could be creative work, could be your actual job that you do, but many times it's something creative that you work really hard at. It's the kind of thing where if I said this guy's name, I doubt he would hear me the first or second time because he's just so into what he's doing. So what is that anxious thing? Maybe you're going to have to be bold and make the first move to relieve that and quell that anxiety. In your recent past, some indecision goes perfectly along here. Lots of swords, lots of thinking about whatever it is you're going, you've been thinking about it. And so this isn't just a new issue for you. It's something you're definitely well, that's funny because your video last night was titled, or last week was titled Think About It. So there's something that's been on your mind. You've been thinking about it. So maybe it's just this week is going to be your time to make a move. What's on your mind this week is another 8. Very interesting here. I want you to look at this lineup that we've got going on. 8 of Wands comes in, which is things changing rapidly, but very interesting here is 8, 8, 8. Can you have more 8s? Look that number up, see if it means anything to you. So yeah, it's stressful. Yeah, it's keeping you up at night, but there's information coming into you that's kind of is it guiding you more towards a decision? Probably. So pay attention to what that is. And again, pay attention to synchronicities. What is just ahead of you this week is happiness with the sun. Here comes the warmth and the sun, here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. That's what I feel like. That, after these sleepless nights and whatever, and I feel like, how you're and you, like in a cartoon, you might hear like the clouds clear and the angels are like, oh, that's kind of what I feel like. This, whatever happens to you, there, like you have this moment of clarity. I wouldn't be shocked right now to pull out like the ace of swords or ace of wands might pop out. To just give you this moment of clarity where like, oh, that's it. That's the thing I've been looking for. That's the decision I need to make. So in your advice position is the 3 of cups. So, your advice is to celebrate whatever this thing that has come to you, celebrate it. It's come to you. You've made a decision on it. You're going to do it. Go for it. I just say go for it. Okay. What is beyond your control this week is the 5 of swords here. So, as you go for it, you might have some hurt feelings, and maybe the decision that you make might affect some other people in a way that they're going to not be too thrilled about. So keep that in mind. It's kind of beyond your control that whatever words you're using are, you're going to have some around you that maybe are not thrilled with your decision, or, what that sunshine moment for you was may be a little more cloudy for them. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid is the 2 of wands here. Interesting. So is it your secret desire that you're thinking about your future and you're wanting to make that next positive step toward it, or are you trying to avoid it? I mean, all signs to me says that this is something definitely about your future. Also, I'm going to point out that now we have not only the 888 but also 22. So make sure you're looking up these angel numbers as they're coming out. Lots of synchronicities for you, Leo. In your outcome position, little celebration here with the 6 of wands. So, I think whatever, you're going to have people around you that are glad that you've made this decision. You're going to be celebrated here. Also here, you're thinking about the future. You're doing the things you got to do. I think sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. What is hidden from you this week, Leo, is the Knight of Cups. So action in the emotional realm. And what's very interesting here is your only emotional realm was celebratory. There was nothing else really in your reading here. You've got kind of all the elements. Everybody's represented, but getting over this anxiety point where you maybe make this decision, and then maybe this comes in later in the week. Like I said, that full moon's on the 5th. Could be that you just have a moment of clarity in that full moon light. Some synchronistic thing happens that does that makes sense of all of it. So, and I think you're going to make a decision. Now, are you going to take action on it this week? Maybe, maybe not. That may come further down the road, but I think your decision is kind of there. So be bold and make the first move. That was your overall card here. So I think you're going to be doing that. The first move might just be changing your mind or making up your mind. So, All right, let's get a final word from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Leo. Raise your vibration. Well, that's good advice. Anytime any of us do that, those answers do seem to come in for us. So raise your vibration, be thinking about things in the term, in the terms that you need to, and the positive things will come. So let's see what Leo needs to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Leo this week. And the card that you get is Body. Your body deserves your love. So take care of your body a little bit as you're going through this. Make sure you are trying to sleep. Don't let anything keep you up at night. That's, you got the daytime to think about stuff. So take care of your body, eat well, stay hydrated, exercise, do those things that make you feel good. And that definitely helps with mental clarity and making sure that you are making right decisions. So Leo, thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, what have you been anxious about? And did you have like a moment of clarity this week? Did something come to you where you were like, oh, well, this is obvious that I need to make this decision? If so, of course, I'd love to hear about it. Or if you have questions about this reading, I'd be happy to answer those. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. But most importantly, Leo, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much. Good luck with this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.